Hello, travelers! Welcome to the Copper Fox Inn. Come on in, take a seat, join us as we discuss Homebrew for Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. My name is Thomas, the Human Bard. I'm joined today by...
Mercy, the Tiefling Wizard.
Onog, the half-orc barbarian.
And Bean, the Rock Gnome Rogue.
Hey, Bean, could you, our new friend just sat down with us here. Would you mind pouring us some tea?
Oh, absolutely.
I saw that you got that tea over there.
Yeah. Come here. I'm not talking to the friend, of course. That would be rude.
Yeah,
to you.
I was like, wow, okay.
And then just, put your teacup down. Awesome. What great Foley work. Anyway, and then we'll just have this little... Are you kidding me? It's adorable.
I hate
It was.
this so much.
It's alive.
Kind of.
Does it have a soul?
Oh, we don't need to get into that. This is my new item, guys. I got it. It is the Kettlebird, and it is the cutest thing I have ever seen.
I like his hat.
His hat is the most important part. It's also
that
his
a
steam
hat?
spout.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you pour things into his
Oh, you don't
head?
need to pour, Thomas.
Oh, no.
All right,
let's hear about
That's
it.
not comforting. You said it like it would be comforting.
You said it like that's a feature I would want.
Guys, the Kettlebird. So, not only is this cute chonky boy cute and chonky, but it is also brought to us by Spacetime Boogaloo, which is a great name. The art...
second space-time.
Yes. The art is also...
Space-time 2, space-time boogaloo.
I hate you. I want everyone to know that.
Guys, what if instead of, your username, you wanted to do Spacetime and it wasn't available, so instead of saying Spacetime 2, you just started putting Boogaloo after things?
Oh, that's good.
Anyway, so not only was this created by Spacetime Boogaloo, or at least posted on Reddit, but the art is Spacetime Boogaloo's and is super adorable, and I absolutely love it.
Good work, friend.
The Kettlebird is a wondrous item, and it is uncommon. This teapot is enchanted to look, fly, and even act like a pelican.
Dean, what's your mom doing here?
I thought I'd have her come read for us.
That's so nice.
She's so pleasant.
Guys,
Mrs.
this is Tortilla.
Mrs. Tortilla, great to meet you.
Yes, I'm very excited to have been here on this show. It did get her out of the house, and I needed that so desperately.
Okay,
Understandable.
Thanks, Mom. Anyway, go ahead and keep reading. All right.
It instinctively seeks out tea leaves to eat and water to drink. Then it finds some place hot to nest, usually a fireplace or a stovetop. Once the tea is brewed, it finds an empty teacup to regurgitate.
and there went all the ahs.
You had me in the first half.
I'm not gonna lie.
However, kettlebirds are not very intelligent and tend to overfill themselves. If over-encumbered with tea, a kettlebird will drop to the ground and pitifully whine until someone comes to pick them up and drink its tea.
It's like when a kettle whistles. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, it's like... But guys, it does say it flies.
Aw.
So here's the thing. I submit that you do not get a kettlebird because you want some tea. I submit that one day you have a cup, and then you look down, and you're like... You pick up your ale, and you're like, why is my ale warm? And then you go to drink it,
tea leaves.
and it's filled with tea. And the kettlebird, I like that it just shows up and kind of just puts tea places without you.
No, the term
Kind of
isn't
sweet.
puts. It's used in the text. The term is regurgitate.
Sorry, it yarfs tea.
Man, the thing is, I want one, though.
It's so cute.
Why
It's
would
so
you
cute.
want one? Ugh. So, I already hate this for a lot of reasons, but it's actually, fun and well-designed. It doesn't do anything.
Yeah,
that
it
is,
just makes you tea.
Yeah, I am surprised it's uncommon, I'll be real with you. It has no mechanical benefits of any
You would
kind.
almost think it'd be like a
was
common, yeah.
because if it was common,
It
then
would be
that
a
would
problem.
mean there would be more of them.
Here's the thing. That would be they would be like having pigeons. You would just be like, I had to put a teacup out last night because I heard screaming and there was a kettlebird on my porch. So I had to get a teacup so it would barf in it. I got it a bowl, but it wanted a teacup.
It won't yarf into a bowl.
if you've seen the movie Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs, there's
Yeah.
rat birds, and there's a scene where they're like, "Oh, don't worry, we got rid of all the rat birds," and then in the background, like 30 of them are like carrying away a child, and then one of the kids just yells up like, "Tommy, just play dead."
That's so
And
funny.
if these were common, that's how I feel it would be. You'd be like, "Oh, don't worry, we're all out of kettlebirds," but then like you just hear squealing from outside.
But like, imagine your party's walking along the road and there's this fat pelican boy. And I'm imagining they're not fat all the time because here's the
Just
thing.
when they're full of tea.
It just looks, it looks, acts, and flies like a pelican. So
Yeah.
one day you see a pelican and then it kind of waddles up and sees your cup and then just starts spitting tea into it and you're like, whoa, 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 whoa.
Man, I really feel like a kettlebird would be conducive to my aesthetic. I'll be honest.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
something you find in a wizard's tower. For sure.
This seems like it's something that used to be a regular kettle.
Yeah. And no, it is a teapot that is enchanted to look and fly and act like a pelican.
No, I know.
For that
but
wizard on the go.
But a regular kettle that wasn't ever intended to become a teapot, but it was like a sort of magical accident. It reminds me of in like Harry Potter when they try to turn the animals into goblets, but Ron's rat turns into like a rat goblet.
Yeah,
Remember how
yeah.
that rat was a man and he got turned into a rat
Oh
goblet?
gosh.
A lot of
Anyway,
layers
we
there.
don't need to talk
Yeah.
about that.
Oh my
this-
gosh. Wait,
We-
guys, that is
we
why
can
the
move on.
enchantment didn't work very
Yeah.
well because he's not an
You're
actual
right.
rat.
Oh, you're
Oh
right.
my
Yeah,
gosh,
you're
hidden
totally right.
details. Wow.
Man,
Anyway.
yeah, this that is true. This kind of thing does tend to happen through magical accidents. I drink a lot of herbal teas. I also drink a lot of smoothies, and it does kind of grate on Thomas a little bit. All the magical accidents I've had around our house. We do have a cockatoo that just eats fresh fruit and then screams at the top of its lungs and then
Well, that's-
barfs up a smoothie for me every morning.
I mean, the screaming is pretty normal for a cockatoo.
But it's the screaming mixed with the sound
Of a blender,
of a
yeah.
blender inside of the cockatoo. Yeah.
He just flies in circles until
Yeah.
all the fruit is blended.
So it's like I have a blender bird, and I feel like
Which-
a kettlebird would really
which-
complete the set.
Which texture is worse to regurgitate? Liquid tea or a smoothie?
I almost
Steaming
don't
hot
know.
liquid.
No. Tea is
Yeah.
clear. Like, that's the thing. Tea
But
is
it's
just...
boiling.
I know, but the fact that it's boiling to me makes it less...
Like, okay.
Yeah.
Because that means it's at least somewhat sanitized.
Like, well, and it wouldn't look like a bird yarfing up some weird thing. I could get it in my head of like, okay, this is fine to drink. It's just a hot sort of
Maybe it just
green
kind of like
water.
comes out like a little like water fountain spout, you know?
Yeah.
It
doesn't-
purses its bird lips and it shoots out. Shoots out a little tea spot.
Yeah.
Great.
Uh,
Oh man.
I
So
know-
Bean, how is this going to help us defeat Darth Lord Evilus?
well, I know that Maleficorius really loves tea, and so if we sent the Kettlebird into his palace, he would probably eat all of his tea and like piss him off.
Okay.
I
not
will
bad.
say a lot of the comments on the actual Reddit page are Crego Maego says, "This is the dumbest thing I have ever seen and I love it so much."
That's about right.
Sure, fair enough.
Yeah. And like that's a lot of the kinds of comments are everyone is admitting like this is useless, but I
But I
can't
want
get
it.
enough of it. Yeah.
I mean, it's sort of like a poison. No, because it only goes into a teacup. I was like, you could like aim it at your enemies and it'll spew like boiling
Nope,
tea on
it
them,
just
but
goes
only
into
into
a
a teacup.
Well, what if your enemy's a teacup?
Oh.
turn
no.
It's
Maleficorius
probably pretty
into a
resilient to
teacup.
boiling liquid.
Oh no, Bean, I forgot. The Modrons. No.
But like here's the thing, guys. Again, I want to submit that this is not an item that you own. It is an item that happens to you.
I like that.
The
I like
kettlebird does
that.
not choose the wizard does not choose the kettlebird. The kettlebird
Yeah.
chooses the wizard.
That like
Yeah.
you make a fire one night or you're in the tavern and all of a sudden like you hear the cook being like, "Hey, go boy! And you go in there, and the Kettlebird has, like, settled on top of the stove, and he's like, he does this every couple weeks or so, comes in here, perches himself right on the stove, warms his bum.
Bean, your dad's here? Why is he voicing your story?
Well, because he's the cook, and he's tired of them Kettlebirds coming in. I don't know if you guys knew this, like, my dad is the cook here.
Yeah. Your family is tangentially related to this restaurant.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He doesn't, like, own it or anything. He actually owes the owner a lot of money, so he, like, cooks here for free.
Makes sense.
It's why the food is
from
only
okay.
That,
he owes him a lot of money from the incident.
Yes. Well, I don't... What? Do not bring that up. Oh, my
okay,
gosh.
sorry. I'm so sorry, Mrs. Tortilla. I won't bring it up again.
I don't even know what you're talking about.
It's okay.
Oh, no.
She has that disease where she gets older by the second. I mean, everyone does.
Oh, no.
Everyone does, but it really impacts her.
She's got reverse Benjamin Button disease.
She has the problem where it's like we're all constantly aging towards death, but she feels that. Like, she's aware of it.
It mostly
Great.
just affects her voice. Everything else about her is fine. At the beginning, she sounded like a sprite older woman, and now she sounds like she's on death's door.
She's a little mummy.
She ages every second. We all age every second.
No, but she feels it.
She's aware of the death of her cells.
She can sense every cell.
Here's the thing, guys. She keeps claiming that's what's going on. I think she's just tired. And she says it. She's like, I
Just needs a
age.
nap.
I think she just does it to guilt me, you know? She's like, that, like, literally, I'm not getting any younger. Instead, she says, I age literally every second. And she uses it to guilt me to, like, get her the remote or something so she doesn't have to stand up. Because she looks fine.
The remote to your walkie-talkie.
Yeah.
Well, thanks, Miss Tortilla, for guesting on this episode. And thank you, Bean, for bringing this Kettlebird. I guess thank you.
Once you get a Kettlebird infestation.
And
Yeah.
thank you, Kettlebird, for the tea. I'm going to set my teacup right here for a refill. Thank you.
What flavor tea is it?
Guys,
Chamomile.
we need to get it another teacup. It's
over full.
Oh, no. Get him out of here. All right, listeners, if you throw him out the window with undergrowth. He's flying around.
Get him!
Get him out of here. If you liked this episode, like the video and subscribe for future.
If you liked this episode, why?
Subscribe for future Dungeons & Dragons Homebrew Discussion.
Comment why underneath the video.
Please explain why you continue to come back for this treatment, for this type of behavior.
If you want Mrs. Tortilla to show up in a future episode, we need to get to our goal of 1,000 likes.
I've told these kids I only have a few seconds left. I only will show up for 1,000 likes.
Quick, like the video.
I'm quite the attention whore.
If you have a homebrew you want us to discuss, send it to us at thecopperfoxinn@gmail.com or on social media at thecopperfoxinn.
Don't forget to like the original post and, do that.
Yeah, and until next time, keep on adventuring.